Hey guys, it's Dave. Welcome back to the channel. Today we're just having a super casual discussion video where we talk about Rocket Lab, the overall stock markets. I'm going to share some things from my portfolio and how I'm thinking about it. And I really want to hear from you. Let me know how your portfolio is doing, how your shares of Rocket Lab may be doing, and what you're planning to do next. As always, there's a Discord link down in the description below if you're interested in joining our Discord server, where we talk a lot about space stocks, the stock market in general, as well as just hang out, have a good time, and share some pictures of our dogs. With that, let's head over to the discussion. Okay, so first of all, it's just kind of nice to see some green in the account for a change. It's been a rough past year for all of us, I'm sure, unless you've played it really well. Maybe we're short the market for a while there or something like that. Been a rough time for growth stocks, so really kind of got used to seeing the red, and now for 1 month, we're up close to $100,000, so really exciting to see. This number was actually higher a bit later in the day than when I took the screenshot. I think we hit over 10% up in 1 month. Really great performance over the past month, and interested to see if it continues. Is this just kind of a short bear market rally, or is this the beginning of a new bull market? We will find out soon, but no matter what, I'm still happy to see the green. How's your account done over the past month? Let me know down below. Special kudos if you managed to beat my 9% there. Let me know down in the comments. Okay, so just to start off with, I did buy more Rocket Lab on Monday. I always want to update you guys on when I trade the stocks that I talk about on the channel, so you always know what I'm doing and try to be completely transparent on that. Bought 900 shares for about $4.09 per share. It's gone up a bit since then. I actually wanted to buy more on this day, and I had a sell in for one of my other stocks, but unfortunately that sell never got triggered, so then I was never able to buy the Rocket Lab. It's kind of one of the downfalls of being too cute with it, trying to get the perfect price, the best price, and then maybe sometimes you don't trigger a sale because of a couple cents here or there. It's kind of a shame, really. For stuff like this, it makes me want to just put in market orders, because sometimes when you want to buy something, and who wants to miss out on a trade just because of a couple cents per share on a company that may be in the 70s. Anyway, that's what happened. I may still buy more in the future, but glad to continue adding to my position. Talking about the overall position here, we've now hit 5,890 shares, and we're in the green finally for our Rocket Lab position. So our cost basis 26.5 thousand, and the market value is now 27,000. So after being in the red for quite a while on Rocket Lab, I am now in the green. Kind of nice to see. If you guys are still in the red, though, don't feel too bad about it. I think patience will win out over the long run on this one for sure. And I may even average up my position in the future, potentially buying more even though I have a gain, and just averaging up my cost basis if I have to. But I still can't complain about being in the green, even though obviously if it was down further, I would be happy to buy more shares. Looking at the 1 month chart of Rocket Lab, we can really see how well it's doing. We hit a low of just above 3.7, and we're now around 4.6. So really solid performance in the past month. Could be a sign of things to come. Could be just a little rally and we go back down. I will say it's nice to see how we kind of hit this higher highs and higher lows pattern. It's really a bullish sign for the future if you're at all interested in technical analysis. So we see peaks and we see troughs, which is always normal. But every time we peak, the peak has been getting higher. And every time we drop, the drop has also been getting higher. It hasn't dropped as far. So overall, we kind of are establishing a bit of a range here, a bit of a channel. We'll see if that continues, but it is a bullish sign for the stock. Although having said that, really we are at the mercy of the overall markets. So we could really drop back down if, interest rates shoot up, if inflation is super hot. There, so many things could change this, but nice to see over the short term. I think we really have to enjoy it while we can. Having said that, for a while, I caught myself getting a little upset because I didn't buy more down here. I was thinking to myself, oh man, I really wish I'd bought more. I really wish I'd bought more. Like, why didn't I buy more down there? And I think that's just not a healthy way to think about it. I was talking about this with a few guys in the Discord, trying to develop the best outlook for investing. And I think it's helpful to actually zoom out a little bit. So this is a 1 month chart. Now let's look at a 1 year chart. This looks way different, right? We've still had a really rough run of it. And it's kind of silly to think we've missed our buying opportunity when you look at this chart. So we were down about here. Now we're about here. So we've missed out on this little wedge if you buy now. Like, is this little gap here enough to say you've missed your opportunity on the stock and there's no point buying, like you blew it by not buying more? Seems kind of silly when you look at this large chart. So I've really decided, let's be positive here. We saw an opportunity to buy, and we did buy, and it's gone up. So we've made money. We did a good job. It's a good company, and if you're still down on it, let's be positive. Nobody has a crystal ball. You can't always predict what's going to happen in the short term. All you can do is when you see an opportunity, you jump on it. You have to wait for that to come. You never know when the opportunities will come, and I think the opportunity did come. So if you bought some like me, congratulations on that. Don't get too down on yourself about buying higher up or not buying more right at the bottom. Hindsight is 20/20, and none of us have a crystal ball. You just have to make the best decision you can at the time with the information you have available to you. So, it looks good zooming out on this chart. Sure, if I buy more, I missed out on this little snippet, but personally, I feel like we have, potentially over the long term, we can easily go back up to 20 if we're looking at 5 years out, easily, really. But I will get into a longer DCF in the future. Been talking to a viewer about it. He's very smart technically. He's gone over a full valuation model with the discounted cash flow, and I'm interested in going into that perhaps next week, really diving into the numbers some more. But yeah, I just wanted to point out we really haven't missed that much. It's important not to get too caught up in getting the perfect price, as long as at the end of the day we get a good price. And I think this is still a good price. That being said, inflation did come in pretty hot this month. We saw that personal consumption expenditures price index rose 6.8% in June, which is the biggest 12-month move since the 6.9% increase in January of 1982. So the biggest move in this inflation measurement since 1982, practically 40 years, right? So excluding food and energy, which are the core PC, it increased 4.8% from a year ago, up 0.1%. So when you exclude food and energy, it's not quite that bad. This energy is getting hit, as well by the war in Ukraine and some other factors. So perhaps not solely being caused by the normal inflation, but still up and still a concern for sure. The employment cost index, another figure the Fed policymakers follow closely, rose 1.3% in the second quarter. The index climbed 5.1% on a 12-month basis, a record for data series that goes back to 2002. So these numbers are concerning. I can't say I know for sure what's going to happen with the overall market, whether we go up again, whether we continue this run or we go back down. I think anybody who says they know for sure is either extremely overconfident or just wrong. But, we can all make our guesses, right? On the other hand, if we do zoom out and look at a 1 year chart on the NASDAQ, we are seeing some kind of higher highs and higher lows in terms of peaks to troughs. So that's generally a good sign, right? We go up, we go down, but we go down less than previously. Then we go up higher, then we go down less than previously. We go up higher again. So we're looking at like a pretty good channel here. Technically speaking, it's possible this is establishing a base. It's more bullish than, if we look at any of these periods back in the last year, we didn't really have this. We had this one sharp jump, but we didn't really have the steady up and then a higher low and then up more. It was just kind of one jump and then back down. So on a technical basis, it looks a little promising. Some of the news looks a little concerning. We all know interest rates are going up, and we'll just have to see how it goes. As I said, we just look for opportunities as they arise. We don't necessarily claim to know everything about what's going to happen, but we just need to be able to recognize that opportunity when we do see it. I don't know for sure, and that's okay. That's my thoughts on that one. Just a few other items I wanted to share from my portfolio. Turning lemons into lemonade here. So we had a rough one with Shopify. It's kind of our biggest Canadian tech company, and I'm a Canadian, so a while back, I sold a put on this at about, it was split adjusted, but I sold a put on it, so I made some money. It seemed like it had a very high volatility, implied volatility that is, so I got a pretty good premium, but unfortunately it did drop a lot, and I got put the stock, which means I had to buy it, and we're now down $5,000 on about 1,000 shares. So not too good when you look at it that way. But what I'm doing now is I'm selling covered calls on it basically every month to make income. And I do think that in the long run, hopefully it'll get back to my cost basis and I'll even get a bit of a gain. So I'm just kind of generating income on this one month to month to month. This previous month, I made $120 by selling a covered call, which means someone's allowed to buy it from me at my cost basis if it goes higher than that. This month, it's not gone higher than that, so I just keep the money and I keep the stock. In ideal world, I think I'd be happier if it did go that high and I got out of the position, plus I made some premiums. But I'm just going to keep selling these calls, and eventually, hopefully, the markets will return, as will Shopify's portfolio or performance. Let's hope. A little bit of a brighter options trades here. We have 2 Tesla puts I made, and I made these a while back. They just seem like such no-brainers to me, and they're turning out great, so I can't complain too much. So how this worked is a couple years ago, I sold someone the right to force me to buy Tesla at $900 per share. For this, they gave me $42,000 American upfront. Now, that's a lot of money, but at the time, Tesla was only trading for like $500. So the person on the other end probably thought there was a good chance they would end up making money on the trade. Obviously, now it's close to 900. It's in the 800s. So I am currently up $22,000 on this trade. And honestly, I think it's probably going to expire worthless. So I'll just keep the entire $42,000, and I'm not going to have to buy the $900 100 shares of Tesla. So I'll get $42,000 American for free. At least that's the plan. We'll see how it works out. But I'm looking forward to these just kind of leaving my balance sheet, if you will, leaving my portfolio, because I have had them sitting on the books for a while, and it'll be nice to see them finally leave and just keep the cash. And now, obviously, the nice thing about this as well is you can invest this $42,000 right away, and you don't have to worry about potentially spending it to buy the stock until the 2023 date in June. Still a ways to go on that. I think Tesla's going to have an absolutely amazing Q3 and Q4. Pretty confident in the company being above 900 by this date, although with macro markets, anything can happen. I think that's been my one downfall as an investor that I'm trying to learn from is I pay so much attention to these individual companies and I don't think about, well, how's the overall market looking? Because the whole market really can drag down or drag up a company. And then even further out in January of 2024, I have another 900 put where I could potentially be forced to buy another 100 shares of Tesla at $900. I received about $25,000 for this. We're up on this as well, not as much, but again, that's mainly because it's a further out date and there's a lot that could still happen. But I feel pretty good that between these two put options, I could make, $68,000 for free. So can't complain about that. Yeah. That's all the info I really wanted to share with you today. Wanted to ask you guys how you're thinking about the markets. Have we bottomed for sure? Do you think we're going to go lower? Are you willing to buy more Rocket Lab even though we've had some gains on it? And what's the best trade you've made over the past couple years? I think this Tesla trade may have been my best one. Well, obviously my Rocket Lab purchase remains to be seen. That could very well turn out to be the best trade I've made. But in terms of more of a short-term move, this Tesla one I think is looking out pretty solid. So yeah, let me know what your best moves have been. And thanks for hanging out with me today. I'll see you next time.